You might not know the group by name, but you most certainly know some of the NFL Players Coalition's causes. Even before the group was officially formed, many of its now members gained attention for taking a knee to protest the killings of young people of color at the hands of law enforcement. Yes, Colin Kaepernick started it all, but it spread. And in 2017, the Players Coalition decided to make things official, incorporating as a nonprofit with a mission of fighting for racial and social equality across the nation. Just a few months ago, a group of coalition members met with Massachusetts lawmakers to push for a criminal justice reform bill, which was signed into law a few weeks later. Among them was two-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, Patriots safety Devin McCourty, who will also be co-moderating a discussion tomorrow with 5 candidates for Suffolk County DA, and joins me now. Devin, it's great to see you.
Appreciate it.
Now, before we start, in the spirit of full disclosure, I'm from Philadelphia. Is that okay? Can you deal with that?
That is fine. We can move forward.
I bleed green. Is that okay?
We can move forward past that.
You're a nice guy. So in September, Donald Trump said he would love to see some owners in the NFL say to get those sons of bitches off the field when they kneel. And then a couple of weeks ago, his spokesperson had this to say.
The president doesn't think that this is an issue simply of free speech. He thinks it's about respecting the men and women of our military. It's about respecting our national anthem. And it's about standing out of pride for that.
And that was after the new NFL rule. But what was your reaction to Trump and Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
I think the biggest thing for us as players, we've tried to kind of move away from what he's doing. I think he's trying to create his own narrative, and I think if we keep following that, we move further away from the different issues that we deem important.
What are the issues that you deem
We've
important?
talked about the social and racial equality. We talked about criminal justice reform in a bunch of different cities and states, mass incarceration, cash bail. So those are the things that we've tried to focus on.
Do you think he knows and his people know what the truth is about what you stand for, and they choose to bastardize it, to rally their troops, or they just don't get it?
I definitely think he knows. I just don't think that's in his wheelhouse. That's not what he's trying to do. He has his own agenda. We're well aware of that, and I think we have to understand how we want to move and do things.
70% of your fellow players in the NFL are black. If 70% of the players were white, do you think we'd be seeing the same reaction from Donald Trump and others?
Probably not. I mean, I just think that's the reality of this country. You know, I think if anything you break down as predominantly black or brown people, you're going to get different reactions.
You know, I've read you've experienced some of this before you were a face and a name that everybody knew. There was a situation when you were at Rutgers and you were with a friend. Tell us what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, to me it was such a simple thing. We were waiting for the bus. And a friend drives by, an upperclassman, it's my freshman year, and he has a small car, so it's 3 of us. We jump in the car. It's actually 4 of us. We jump in the car, and obviously it's 3 of us in the back, 1 in the front. We literally drive just down the road, make a left, switching between the 2 campuses. As we pull into the dining hall parking lot, one cop car comes behind, and the other comes from another angle, sirens going off. And we're kind of like frozen because we don't know, what just happened, and said he didn't use his signal, but we didn't understand why so much attention for just
What's that feel
simple.
like as a kid? I mean, you're a pretty prominent kid on campus, but you're still a kid. What'd that feel like?
I think the first thing's fear. I mean, all of us can, you can kind of create all these things you think will happen, but initially it's just fear. One of my friends went to get out the car, and the first thing we told him was, don't get out the car. You know what I mean? And I think that's just that natural fear.
And I'm guessing it's one thing for somebody to say something to your face when you're who you are now, but I'm guessing on social media you get a huge amount of crap.
Oh, I mean, over the last 2 years, the stuff that I've gotten through social media, or the team has gotten letters or their social media account, it's embarrassing. But
Racist.
Yes, but I think there's a reverse side of the positive things that I've gotten, that the team's gotten, that it kind of lets you know you're doing the right thing.
You know, very few, Chris Long, your former teammate, then with the Eagles.
Yeah, I know, that makes you smile.
I'll wipe the smile away. Not many white players have joined in these protests. Tom Brady, a fairly prominent name in the NFL, was with Oprah Winfrey over the weekend. It's the first time I've ever heard him speak about the protests. Here's what Brady had to say.
I think there were a lot of really good, healthy conversations coming out of it in our locker room. We chose to, lock arms, and we put arms around each other. I respect why people are doing what they're doing.
What do you feel about that? What does it make you think when you see your teammate saying what he said? Is that enough for you?
I mean, I think with this, each individual is different. We've had talks I think as groups of players, as individually as players, and we kind of understand everyone feels a little different on how outspoken that they choose to be. But I think we kind of all saw the issues as players. Like, there's nothing wrong with guys that are out there fighting for it. It's real issues. So, but I think each person has to decide how vocal they want to be.
Despite that position, are you disappointed that Brady hasn't been with you?
No, I'm not disappointed. I think, you know, each guy has to do. I think here everyone wants to see Brady because he's Brady. But I want everyone to be involved, not just Tom Brady. Like, that doesn't just make me happy if Brady came along.
So you've heard a lot of people say, shut up and dribble. I guess in your case, shut up and tackle.
Just run.
And the Players Coalition is a response. You were one of the chief lobbyists, along with Troy Brown, former teammate, for lowering the age of juvenile jurisdiction. It was from 7 to 12. We'll raise it to 12. How'd that feel? I mean, winning a pretty important change in the law in Massachusetts.
That was another nerve-wracking thing. I think kind of speaking about it, and that morning came where we were going to state office. It was kind of overwhelming to, you know, kind of feel a sense of responsibility that you can do this. And I think once we got there, we all got comfortable. You know, we were talking, we were speaking, I think, for masses of people who just couldn't go up there and speak.
Is it as good as a game-saving pick or no, winning a major provision in the law?
It was. I think from speaking to the different experts that we've kind of been able to sit down with and them telling us, like, hey, this was a good job today, this will go a long way, it felt really good.
So tomorrow night you're doing this discussion with the 5 candidates for Suffolk County DA. And by the way, there's part of the Players Coalition, this launching justice thing from Richard Sherman and Malcolm Jenkins. He's also an Eagle. Did you know that? He plays
we played in a high school all-star game.
Oh, that's right, in Jersey.
That's a
right.
connection, but that's probably about it.
So you're doing this thing with the 5, with Matthew Slater, and your twin brother are doing this thing. What's the agenda? What do you hope to achieve doing these things around the country with candidates for DA?
I think just to get people in there to kind of understand what the district attorney's office is, you know, the power they have to sentence, to prosecute, but also to give second chances, to kind of help, you know, the problem of mass incarceration and cash bail. They have tremendous power that I don't think everyone knows. I don't even think everyone knows that it's an elected position.
I think you're right.
You know, that they can actually come out, listen to these candidates, and then come September, they have a chance and an opportunity to vote for them.
You nervous?
A little nervous.
Do you get nervous for a game?
Yeah.
You're more nervous about this tomorrow night or a game?
I'm more nervous about this. I know as soon as kickoff happens, I'm right in and I'll be fine. But this, it's the unknown. So
I think it's great you're doing it. I know I speak for a lot of people. Devin McCourty, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Stay in touch. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see Devin, as I said, his brother Jason and Matthew Slater moderating that discussion between those 5 Suffolk County DA candidates, it's tomorrow, 6:30 to 8:30. At the Lilla G. Frederick Pilot Middle School in Boston. You can find more information about how to attend on our website, greaterboston.org.